Good evening and welcome. This is Strong and Sassy here on your superstation Joy 99.7 FM. My name's Animwaa Anim-Addo, and I'm so glad that you're joining me tonight. So growing up, Father's Day used to be one of my most favorite days because it gave me the chance to tell my dad how much I loved him. I remember that I would write like long letters, and tell him how much I adored him and how I felt safe with him. And as I grew, the things that I loved him for changed. I loved him for his advice. I loved him for his smart mouth. I loved him for his fearlessness and his courage. And so much of who I am is because of him. These days, on Father's Day, he's not here anymore. So it's usually a quiet day, where my sister and myself reflect on everything that he was to us and perhaps spend a little bit of time in the day wishing that he was still here and that we could just love on him. So first of all, if your dad is still alive and still around, then there's no reason why you shouldn't celebrate him on a really special day like Father's Day. So tonight's conversation is really about the father-daughter relationship and the kind of impacts that our fathers have on us. I was telling Evans just before the show started that so many times my daughter's dad will do something, and there have actually been times when I actually call him to say thank you for what he did for her, because I understand how much of a foundation, how much of a sturdy foundation a woman has when she is validated and loved and chosen by her father, who's her first love. So tonight we thought, we should share some of our experiences, hear some of your experiences, open the phone lines, give you the chance to wish your dad a happy Father's Day in advance, because maybe Sunday, you'll be in church, and then after church there's, choir rehearsal. After choir rehearsal, there's leaders practice. After leaders, this, and then maybe by the time you get home, Anyways, that's just by the way. So that's what we're going to do tonight. So I'm going to open the phone lines now. Aram is going to be joining me in a bit. Also, we had a conversation with some people, so we would bring to you, what people felt or how much people felt that their choice of partner was dependent on what their father was like. So the phone lines are 0302-216-541. If you're a woman and you're calling me, I want to know how much, when you were choosing your husband or your boyfriend, how much of your father did you look for? And then you can just send him a wish. And if you're a guy, I'd love to hear your favorite memories or your favorite experiences with your dad. But before all of that, let's take a listen to how some people were affected by their fathers when it came to their choice of partner.
My relationship with my dad has been a very positive one. Being a girl, I feel like being able to see things from the male perspective and everything is very crucial. And so I did find all that in my dad. We used to have very deep and personal conversations. I don't want to say, I sound like we don't anymore, but we still do. Not like we used to. We have very personal and deep conversations about things happening in my life, issues that I find mind-boggling. I remember when I was in SHS, I think final year, there was a point in my life that I went through a phase of depression, and my dad took me to this counselor that I was able to talk through my feelings with, and it was very beneficial. My dad is one to always find solutions for you. And that's not just because he's my father, but as a person, he's a really kind person. He's very thoughtful. One time, I remember when I started my service, I went home rather late. And around the time, there was no restaurant opened or anything where we could order in. And I think the food available was banku, which was very heavy for, that hour. And I was like, I can't eat that. And he asked me what I wanted to eat. I was like, I wanted to eat fried yam. This man, I was just seated in the living room. This man went to the kitchen. He went to fry yam. He served it to me. That was a very definitive moment for me. I was like, this or nothing. Okay, I'm not settling for less, because I see the way my dad is. I see how he provides for his family. I see how much he sacrifices for his family. When in 2017 he wanted to pursue a doctorate degree, but at the time my siblings and I were still in school. I think I was in final year of SHS, or I think level 100, and my sister was also in the university. My brother was in SHS, and so at the time money was tight, and so pursuing a doctorate degree was not it was very important to him, but then he placed his children first, in that he sacrificed his dreams, or he puts them on hold, and he took care of our education and everything. Like, that was a very, very profound move and a very definitive one. And so I admire my father a lot. I really, really love him. I look up to him. I really respect him. I have a lot of admiration for him. And so I think that, yes, to a very, very impressive extent, I would look out for these qualities in a partner. It would definitely inform my choice of a partner. I would want to have a partner that is kind, that is thoughtful, that is generous, that can sacrifice, that can make concessions, just like my father. And I think, to some extent, it would influence my choice of a partner.
My relationship with my father, I would say, is one of the amazing relationships that I've ever seen myself. We check up on each other, we call, we pray. If something is bothering me, he's the first person I talk to. Sometimes, if he asks questions about certain things, considering the fact that he says that I'm younger, it's like our generation, and like he's older. Sometimes if he doesn't get stuff, like, oh, then he just mentions my name. What's this? Do you understand this and all that? So that's the kind of relationship that we have. I like that so much. We spend so much time together. There are days that we just be like, okay, it's just a father-daughter moment. You go out, eat, talk about. He usually asks me about my life and what I'm doing now and all that, achievements and all so on. But then talking about traits, if I would marry a man like my father in terms of character traits and all that, yes and yes, because the man, my father, I would say someone who probably gives me money without me asking. Why not? I mean, why not? And also the fact that he's there, on days that I don't call him to ask, like I don't, as my age, yes, I don't call him to ask for money, but he'll call me and he'll be like, "Are you sure you're okay? Don't you need anything?" and all that. That's the kind of man, that's the father I have. So obviously, why wouldn't I want to marry a man like that? He cares for me. He wants to know. He wants to see me at the top. He's concerned about my well-being. Yes, my dad is not authoritative. He listens to my views. It's like a very democratic household that we have, where your daughter this, your father that. So yes, I would want to marry a man like my father. These are many other amazing qualities that my father has that I think it would inform my decision to get married or be with a man who has these kind of traits.
Joy 99.7 FM.
I have a very beautiful relationship with my father. Trust me, it's an enviable one. Not that I'm bragging, but yeah, my dad is the sweetest. He's more like my best friend. Yes, my mom's also my coolest friend, but I think my dad is the coolest dad, I think, on earth. Not that I think, I'm sure of that, because I'm free to talk to him about anything at all, even if I did something wrong and I just want to be sure that I actually did wrong. I can go and tell him that I did this to this person and I'm feeling bad about it, or I don't even feel bad about it, but this is what I did. And he would tell me that, okay, you did wrong, you have to go back and apologize. Each and every day I learned something from my dad. He's a very cool dad. He's sweet, he's kind, very caring. I always wish that he could be there forever, but as humans, there'll be a time he'll no longer be there. Having said this, the relationship I have with my dad is one that I would hope to have with my man someday, or maybe my husband someday. Having a friend, a confidant, a gossip partner sometimes. All the time, actually. It's a very beautiful one that I wish that I could have with my partner someday. He's a very, he's an amazing man, amazing husband, and an amazing father. And I love him to bits.
Okay, so my father is not a readily available father, as in he's most of the time out of the house. But when it comes to finances and correcting us when maybe my mother complains about something, he's there. I don't think that will inform the kind of man I'd get married to. Actually won't. I'm going to actually look at the individual as an individual, not bring the fact that maybe my father is not always available here into it. No, it won't inform the kind of man I would get married to. Even though financially my father really, 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 really takes care of us, just that he's not always at home because he'll be at work. Yes, so our relationship is kind of, we are not that tight, if I should say. It's just hi, hello, good evening, daddy, good afternoon, daddy, how are you, how was your day, that's all, that kind of thing. Yes, but when it comes to taking care of us, providing for us, I think he's the best dad ever.
Joy 99.7 FM.
This is still Strong and Sassy, your superstation, and this is Joy 99.7. So the phone lines are opened, 0302216541. I'd love to have you call in and share your experiences with your dad, or wish him a happy Father's Day, or tell us whether your relationship with your dad has really impacted your love life. So that would be interesting to hear. The voices that we just listened to, I think 2 out of 4 said that, they were the relationship with their fathers impacted their love lives. So that was really interesting. And it's so great to hear, women talking about really great relationships with their fathers, because we know what that means. So Aram is joining us, and she and I are gonna, just kind of share our experiences and maybe just make the fathers listening smile. But the phone lines are opening, so I'd be happy for you to call in. So Aram has done payment. Hello.
Animwaa.
Why have you done payment now?
Sometimes you need to
express
things out.
All right, okay.
So that your enemies cannot see you coming.
Wow. That's very interesting. So, okay, so Jacqueline is on the line. I'll come to you, Aram, in a second, but let me talk to Jacqueline. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, awesome. So do you want to share your favorite memory with your dad before you tell us if your relationship with your dad has impacted the kind of man or the kind of men that you choose?
Yeah, I was listening to some of the comments other ladies were sharing, and that has been a problem, you choosing a man, because I had a very nice relationship with my dad. As other lady was saying, even if I'm not feeling well, he will cook for you, he will care for you, he will do everything. So in selecting a man, sometimes you look at those qualities if you don't find it, like you expect to see, and you don't see it, and they will see like you are too difficult, or your daddy has spoiled you, or your dad did bad, or something like that. It's a challenge now.
Oh,
That's true. I totally agree.
Aram says here, why do you agree?
No, I don't think that the men, they make them the way they made them in the past anymore.
Really? Or maybe your mother has finished the work. Because I think that honestly, the father-daughter relationship and the father-wife relationship are very different.
Very different.
Very, very, very different. So if you think that you're going to marry somebody and he's going to be like your dad, I think you'll be grossly disappointed.
To be honest, I like this perspective you're bringing it from, because I never thought about it, because for me, okay, growing up, I felt like there were times when my mom, my dad had a lot of conflicts that were about me.
Okay.
But I never felt the brunt of that. Like, I had like an amazing relationship with my dad. So I think people like us, we always look at it in this sense, like, I want a man that would be like, I've actually told someone that before, like, I want a man like
okay, well, Jacqueline is still on the line. Jacqueline.
Hi. I just wanted to wish my dad happy Father's Day in advance. He's Mr. Joseph Kondia. He's at Western Takoradi, Western region. He has been there so great dad for me, and I'm where I am today because of him. And I think his contribution has impacted so much on my sisters, my brothers, and everything. So I really want to say thank you and happy Father's Day to my dad.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Thank you for sharing that with us. We're really grateful.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, the phone lines are still open, 0302216541. Also, you can send in your messages, 0511111997. So, one of the things that my dad used to fight with me about is that when I was like my 20s and stuff, I won't shape my eyebrows. I won't wear a bra, and I'm always wearing trousers.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that
but
was.
But look at your brows now.
I know, right? And he's dead, so he doesn't get to see it.
And you're wearing a dress.
Can you imagine? I'm wearing a dress. I think we have Flora. Flora is on the line. Joining us. Hello, Flora. Hello.
My name is Flora.
Well, hello to you.
I love my father because he's a good cook and he helps me in my assignment.
Oh, Flora, thank you so much. How are you?
Then he sends me out for work. My father sent me out for work. My father also sent me to a restaurant to eat.
That's so nice.
And also he also supports me in my assignment. That's why I love my father. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, Flora.
Oh, I want to say
Flora, wait. You want to say something? Okay, say some. Who is that? Somebody said I want to say some. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Is this Flora's sister?
Yes, please.
What's your name?
My name is God Precious.
Oh,
hey,
precious. You want to say some? Say some, okay?
My father is a good man.
Oh.
He helps me with my homework.
Thank you, precious. What's your daddy's name? What's your daddy's name, Precious? Oh, Precious and Flora are gone. Anyway, if you're out there in this world and your children are called Precious and Flora, then they were live on Joy 99.7 FM, telling us why they love you so much. So thank you for being a good dad.
That was so sweet. That was
I know,
sweet.
right?
That was so sweet.
So what's your favorite memory of your dad?
Okay.
Not memory like as in the thing that you remember the most.
So me and my dad's stories are two. So my biological father is late, and then I have an amazing stepdad. So I have two stories probably. But of my dad, we used to have this thing where every day, the one who has passed.
Okay.
So let's talk about that one. And we have this thing where every day he gives me like an allowance for this snack that I used to love. And even if he's traveling for a certain number of days, he always give me money for those number of days so I can get that. And every time I come back from school, my dad used to have a Mercedes back in the days. So when I come, I'll just do perfume so he knows the girls in the building. Wow. And then every weekend is pool days. So lovely.
It was good. So, what did you? I think we don't talk about this enough, maybe. So let me just digress a little bit. Yeah. How did you, when he died? What was the kind of impact that? Because I know it's nice. Like Father's Day is all nice and exciting and stuff. It doesn't change the fact that there's some people feel a certain amount of pain.
And coincidentally, when we told also we were going to have this conversation this week, like Tuesday was 24 years.
My dad Monday was 3 years.
So
yeah, it's been a tough week.
The same, Yeah. And I one thing that I try to do now is keep the memory alive and try not to forget who he was and the role and all of that. But like you're saying, the impact is, I've asked so many times, like, which one is the worst, when you lose your parents young or when you are older? But I think what it does at a young age change the trajectory of your life completely. Because I know that my life would have been way different if my dad was alive, as compared to being raised by a single mother, not by choice, right? And all the things that comes with. And I also feel sometimes like maybe like the protection that I've needed, because there's a way that your parents will raise you. And recently I had a conversation with my mom, and one of the things that she was telling me was how they together as a couple had conversations about the life they wanted their children to have. So having that cut abruptly, so I knew that my life changed drastically. And then the challenges that comes with being just raised by one parent versus being raised by a father when he's the breadwinner. So our lives really changed. But then I think it made us tougher as kids. And so I always used to say this as a joke, that when other people were like really trying to be in their feelings and playing with, I was literally trying to survive my childhood just to come out of that place. So now that I'm an adult, I see where some of those things, because I'm fiercely independent. I tell people that I had to be strong and be there for myself for most of my life. So now it shows up in a way of letting people in.
There's a struggle to let people in.
And the one thing that I really struggled with is trusting that people will stay. Because for the longest, I always know that
I get
you'll be gone.
I get that.
So my mind is always, I'm preparing for you to exit.
Yeah.
And how to be strong when that happens. Because that caught me unaware.
Yeah, it would. It would, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't. I'm just wondering where the beating of the boys, where that's... that one came in. But we'll come back to that, because I want to know. Phoebe is on. Hello, Phoebe.
Yes, good evening.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
To me, I think my story is different.
Okay.
I didn't have any good relationship with my dad from the beginning of my life up to now. It's sad, and it's painful that you not have that bond with your father from the beginning. Yeah. But I would like to advise or tell everybody and anybody that if you don't have any good relationship with your father, find a way to make amends, because you might not know what he's also going through.
Yeah.
In my case, I don't even have a good relationship with him, but I visit him. Anytime he gets sick, I go there, send him to the hospital, pay his hospital bills, and then make sure that at least he's okay before I leave him. So that's my story. It hasn't been good on my side, but I forgive myself in the first place, and then I forgive him too. Because my mom is not around for me to ask her what was the reason for all this. I just came to meet it.
Wow.
So that's my story.
Well, thank you, Phoebe. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And I think it's an inspiration that you continue to honor your father, as you should, regardless of what he has been or hasn't been to you. So God bless you. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Well, it's always tough to hear.
Yeah. And, I have a couple of friends.
I love how we finish each other's sentences.
Yeah, because
it's always tough to hear.
Yeah. Because, I've heard and experienced, and I'm sure you probably know some people as well who don't have such great relationship with their fathers. But I love what Phoebe is doing, which is just play that role as a daughter. Because,
do what you need to.
And, there's also this thing where sometimes, based on how your parents were, you may not hear some side of the story, and maybe it's just your mom's side of the story, and so you're carrying this grudge. But I think what the opportunity we have as adults, right, is to step into that role, try to gain an understanding, and even if it's not working, just do what you can as a child. And
the one thing I would say is my parents were divorced when I was 13 or 14 or so. So the one thing that I will say to whoever is listening who comes from a broken home or has parents who are divorced is don't take on the failure of your parents' marriage. And don't judge your relationship with your individual parents. By their ability or inability to stay together, because you end up losing on a lot of things. And don't take on the trauma of what, your father did to your mother or what your mother did to your father. It was not done to you. They were fighting their own fight. Unfortunately, you were caught in the crossfire. I think it's trauma that we should be able to release quite easily. When I say quite easy, I know letting go of trauma is difficult, but I mean it's one of the things that you should make a decision, because I think once you understand that this is not about me, then you can let it go. Anyways, so tell me, before I want to ask you that your choice of men and your father, but I also want to ask that, so when you used to go to school and beat the boys, and you come home, which of your fathers was present, and what would he say?
Okay, so there was the main incident with this time it wasn't a boy that I beat, it was a girl. The girl was messing with my brother, so I had to beat her up.
I see.
Yes, and the matter came to my dad. My mom almost killed me because my mom almost killed me. My dad, he was the mediator, tried to sort out the issue with the other family, because I didn't only beat the girl. Nani mami ton koko, so I scattered the koko to on top.
Seriously?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
So what did your dad say?
He didn't say anything to me. My mom did my dad always loved me. I mean, I could never do anything wrong
in his eyes.
Yes, I was those kind of
You were spoiled.
I know.
You were spoiled.
Yeah.
And you are still spoiled.
Yes, please. And thank you.
Okay. So he didn't say anything?
No, he never said anything. I'm sure he probably told my mom, how dads be like, talk to your daughter that, but he never said anything to me.
I feel like sometimes dads push mothers to do the dirty work.
Yes.
So that they can continue to look like
good.
Heroes.
And I still got snack money the next day. Like nothing happened.
Like nothing had happened.
No.
Wow. Okay, so tell us how, in your romantic life. Or lack of romantic life.
I have a romantic life.
Oh, okay. That's amazing then. Tell us how, the dynamic.
The dynamics. So I think now I'll focus more on my stepdad. So my father passed when I was 9. My mom married later in life, and I have this amazing stepdad. And with him, one of the things that I love, first of all, to just marry somebody who already has kids, 5 kids at that.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Adopt all of them. That was a huge feat.
And not just 5 kids, but the other 4, I don't know, but one like you.
I am the best.
That's yeah.
And so that in itself was just like a big
amazing,
right? And then obviously getting to know this person, because now that I think of, my mom had dated other people before that I didn't like.
What was that like? I mean, having him come into your having him come into your life, getting to know him. Did your mom introduce all 5 at the same time, or was it one at a time? Was it what was the orientation like? I'd love to speak to your mom. I know, right? Yeah, what was the orientation?
What the dynamic? Like? And it's so funny because I think I only had that conversation with her probably this year or last year. What was this like? Why did you even pick this man, and why did he pick you, and vice versa? And those, but from a child's perspective, I think when he made that decision, and now that I've had the conversation with my mom and I understood, that in itself just made him a hero in my eyes. Also because my mom, is knowing who she is very particular about people that she chose. So and I've seen her being with other people and not choose them. So what make this person different? And all the other people she actually did, I didn't like them. But I like this guy.
So you probably ruined the relationships, but let's move on.
Not really. So this guy was just great. And he never made us feel less in any shape or form. Like when I visited, I've always felt at home with him, and he's been supportive. I think that was what super supportive with everything that we wanted to do individually as all the 5 kids, because 5 children, we have 5 different lives, 5 different paths. Yeah. It was super supportive. I remember, I don't know if I should tell this story.
While you think about it, I'll come back to you. Nana is on the line. Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you too?
I'm okay.
All right, talk to me.
It's Jenny's because a miracle happened today.
Okay.
The ladies are calling, Nana.
God!
This show is for ladies, however, dominated by men.
Yes!
Come to the calling.
Bro!
That's how it's
Oh
basically.
my God, Nana.
I'm listening and I'm like, wow.
I know, right? I know.
It's Father's Day.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice, really. Well, my dear dad died when I was 4. So I didn't really get to experience him for him. However, whoever took us on was my mom also died when I was, I think, somewhere around 7. So we're that young, and somebody has to be responsible for us. So it was the eldest of my mom who took us on. And I'm sure that if the husband didn't agree, it wouldn't have happened. So from that side, I really appreciate him for that. That said, he's the quiet type, and I'm the quiet type. So we didn't really have the talky kind of relationship yet. However, he was always there. There were these times where my mom would travel, and like you wouldn't even feel like there's no mom in the house because he could do everything. He cooked, he cleaned. I don't know what he cannot do. So he will do all of this for us, and I get to know this, and I get to know how influential he's been in my life when I grew up. Because you see how our men, our fathers are kind of conditioned to be, not to do these whole domestic things. I can remember so well that anytime he take on some of these roles, even when my mom is around, I remember so much they will be saying, "But you, where's your wife?" And I remember he didn't let that get to him. He kept on doing so much to the point where today I don't know what I can do in the kitchen. And I feel like he influenced me in a way that I didn't know then. But now I don't know what I can do in the kitchen. And I keep getting that too, you know. People will say, "Oh, you have a woman and why are you doing this?" And I'm like, it doesn't make sense. What is wrong? He made me see this whole being a man thing differently, way out of how we are told a man is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And that I say I'm so much grateful because I survived on my own for a very long time because I could cook. You know, honestly, for real. That is how come I got to understand that, look, doing these domestic things is not a female thing.
Yeah.
You must know how to do it as a person so that when you move out from your parents' house, you can survive on your own.
Yeah.
At least, as you can survive on your own. So that even if you end up with another woman, you could also partake in that aspect. So it wouldn't be only her burden.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So for some of these little things, I'm so much grateful for it. So this Father's Day, I'm not going to do. I won't wish him all. I'm just going to wire him some money, and I'll be quiet.
Nice.
I'll be quiet and see what he will do. So me, I'm very, very, very much grateful. You know, it wasn't just me. It was me and my brother, and they had their own children, and you know, adding up. And it's not like they are some rich people. Oh, these are just farmers. You know, farmers who are just surviving, and you are adding up. Charlie, I can't be much grateful. We all call him Meduyao. So wherever he is, Daddy, I love you so much. You've done so much for us that I know we don't say it much, but deep down in our heart, we remember everything.
Yeah.
We remember everything, Charlie. I remember once. Let me say this once. I remember once when I was in high school, they sacked us for school fees. The following day, I went to school, and I don't know how the money came by me. I thought, well, Daddy has paid for it, blah, blah, blah. It was later on that my mom was like, "You have to go and thank your daddy." And I was like, what's the problem? He said, well, he bought some roofing to roof a house, and he went to sell it back, so he used to pay your school fees.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Nana, for sharing those stories.
Yeah,
really tells you the impact that fathers have.
Absolutely.
But we have Steve.
Yes.
No. We have Dave. Hi, Dave.
Yeah, Animwaa.
Hi. Hi, is this Dave or Steve?
Steve.
Hi, Steve. Okay, hi. What's up with you?
I'm good, yourself.
I'm very well, thank you. Talk to me.
I'm really in a village without electricity, but I always get my Sunwatt battery for a program.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so nice. Thank you so much. What's up?
Thank you too. Oh, we did.
So
okay. I really grew up in a broken home.
Okay.
But my dad wouldn't shirk his responsibility. I quite remember in my primary school days, he would come out to my school, pay my fees in advance, even for the following term. Those days we were paying extra classes, he would pay it for the whole term. So apparently he wasn't there all the time, but anytime he showed up, he was living in a different place, and my mother and myself were also living in a different place. But anytime he showed up at the time, you would feel his influence. And whether my father is a disciplinarian or not, I can't really tell because I didn't really live most of my life with him. He wouldn't even bother you with any stuff like that. And then recently, I think I had a lady in the family where my mother didn't really like the story, but my dad stood up for me anymore. That was not a joke.
Wow, that's amazing.
He helped me out with everything, going to see the lady's family, making arrangements. But unfortunately, too, I think the child is just 2 years with the lady, and then the relationship has fallen through anymore. So the child is even with me at my station now.
Oh, wow.
And I'm also trying to do those responsibilities, the washing. I've even sent the child to school. But the only thing I'm struggling with now is brushing the teeth.
Yeah, I know, right? Getting them to open their mouth and not
drink
the toothpaste.
The thing is fast.
It's Charlie. That one, they're we all. The best of us, we struggle.
I wish I could have some kind of counsel on it.
Just keep going. It will get better.
Okay, so I'm doing my best. He's asleep. We are living here, and the mom, I don't know, the relationship just fell through, and then he brought her just like that and said she was going to have something to do. Meanwhile, I got her some capital to do some business, but I don't know anymore. So we are trying.
Keep trying. I mean, I'm sure you've heard, the stories that other people have told of the impact that their fathers have had on them. And one day, this child will tell the story of the impact you have had on them. Yeah. So we pray for grace for you and some electricity in the little village. I think that would be nice. We got a message from Tom Brown.
Yes. Flora and Precious's
Flora and Precious's dad. And he says, I'm Flora and Precious's dad, and they're amazing kids I have. I couldn't have asked for any better kids.
You're doing a good job.
That's so
you're doing
nice.
an
Thank
amazing
you so
job
much
with them.
For texting. So you were about to tell us a story which you didn't think you should tell us.
I'm not going to tell the story, but I mean, my dad had...
Just tell the story already.
Okay, so if I tell the story, don't judge me, because every time I say something, you'll be judging me.
I've judged you so many times. You should be used to it
So
by
I remember
now.
when I got admission to do my master's, and I was so petrified to tell my parents because this was going to be my second one. And
so why were you petrified?
Because it was too much. Exactly. So I was like, oh, what am I going to do? So they come to pick me up and we're going. I'm like, oh, by the way, I got admission, but I'm not going to go. They're like, why? So I'm like, because it's too much. I'm just finishing. So I'm like, we're committed to educating you as far as you need to go. So if this is what you want to do, we're going to pay for it. Fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. So my dad, he's always supportive of everything I want to do.
Why didn't you want to tell the story?
I don't know.
Because we already know you have 2 masters and you speak French.
Stop it.
I mean, so it's not like we're going to judge you any more than we already judge you.
So as I was saying, he
boys.
always supports everything that I do. And like my, I remember he would just be there and go like, oh, you haven't traveled in a while. What's going on? I'm like, bro, you need to run me some cash.
And then
like, okay. Run me some cash. And now, because of how the relationship has grown over the years, I'm actually kind of closer to my dad than I am my mom. And if I want to do something big, right, I'll tell my dad, then he'll tell my mom.
Because mothers can be unreasonable.
My mom be blocking my shine.
I'm just going to put it out there. Like, we can just be so unreasonable.
My mom be blocking my shine, So I'll just be like, so my mom will be like, your dad said you are traveling to this place. What's that about? I'm like, oh, I'm going to see my friend here. Okay. There was a time I was going on this one of my trips, and he was giving me, like, your mother says she doesn't have money, but you take this money.
Wow. You're spoiled.
So yeah, he'd be funny. And then his big thing now is he's like, yo, I'm holding some money for you to get married. Like, when are you going to get married? I'll spend the money.
We'll come back to that one. There's another caller. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Animwaa?
Yes.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you too?
I'm also fine.
What's your name?
Guys, you want to finish my credit before you put me on?
Oh, I'm sorry, la. What's your name?
You're just come again.
What's your name?
My name is Bright.
Bright.
Yes.
Hello, Bright. Talk to me.
Hello, Animwaa.
Yes. Tell me your problems. What's up?
I don't have problem. I'm just want to share my.
Do you want to wish your dad a happy Father's Day?
Yes. Mine is different.
Okay.
I don't have a good relationship with my dad.
Okay.
As I was growing up, my dad doesn't care about me. Not me alone, with my siblings. But I was able to do what a child to do to a parent. I take care of him, give him money. But these days, I stopped giving him money because when you give him the money, you will go and use it to drink.
Wow.
I quite remember when I finished my DHS and I have to go to Bangtech. My dad said he doesn't have any plan for me. Whatever I'll do to go to the school, he doesn't care. If I become somebody in future, he doesn't care. And he pays me a lot. I still have that pain in me.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just say that Bible says you should honor your parents so that you may live long. So I go back.
Oh, did we lose him?
I have a child. I have 2 kids. I do everything possible not to tune my dad's lane to be a good father to my kids. So that's my story. And I want to say to our fathers that sometimes if you don't have it, it's not a force. But certain things that we say to our children kill their spirit. Someone will be somewhere will not understand. You are doing well, you are working. Your dad or your mom or your parents are in the village. They are not getting anything. But they don't know what happened. You understand? So I just want to use this forum to talk to our parents. Please, if you don't have it, just keep quiet. Certain things that you say bring our spirit down.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Bright. And, we continue to pray for grace for you to be an amazing
dad. I think the best thing I've learned tonight is, in as much as we're sharing all these beautiful stories, and then there are people who don't have great relationship with their dad, but what I haven't heard today is like maybe negative sentiments, but how these people continue to try and be better children and be better parents so they don't end up traumatizing their
children as well.
Their kids. And that's amazing.
I think you fully appreciate your parents when you have children. There are aspects of your parents that you really, really understand when you have children. There were times I used to get upset with my dad because he'll pick me up from school where we will roam, man. Jesus Christ. How you can close school at 3 and get home at 9?
He has rounds.
Like you will stop and eat groundnuts and plantain, then we'll stop at a chop and eat fufu, then we'll go to a meeting here, then we'll go to a meeting there, then he'll talk, he'll leave me in the car. Like, I'm tired. But then as an adult, I realize that sometimes, the 24 hours in the day is not enough. So, like, you can't pick your children and go and drop them at home and come and continue. So, it's like, Charlie, when you can move. Except that right now, it's nicer because there's phones, there's tablets, and so kids can be entertained. But back in the day, there wasn't. So, it was really just... I remember one of my favorite memories of my dad. So, I'm really tall. My dad was really short.
So where did you get this height?
So Papaye and Osu had just opened, right? So we had parked opposite Papaye and we were crossing the street and I had put my hand around his neck and we were chatting because we would talk all the time about everything. And, this trotro full of people were passing and they started shouting at us. Like this old man and this like, how is this your girlfriend? And I remember I stood in the middle of the Oxford. She was like, he is my father,
my God.
But it was just, and my dad was laughing and it was so funny because so many people would see us in traffic and then they'll call and be like, Kojo, nah, girl Ben away too far. And then you'd be like, Animwaa, they'll be, okay, because we're chatting and I'm not gonna get emotional, but
I think we live with the memories, and that's the thing. You just bask in them, and then best time.
And just enjoy them.
Enjoy them.
Before we go though, I want to know. So, do you want to marry someone like your dad?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. At least, like, you need to.
Which aspects of him do you want?
The presence, like him being fully present. That's one thing that I love. Like in your business, consent. Yes.
Nosy.
Not
following up.
Yeah, he follows me on social media.
He does. So he knows about your saying no to booty calls.
He does. Every time I call, he's like, I'll be seeing you. I told him to take a picture. It's like, you just want me to take this picture so you can enter boy's eye on the Facebook. Say yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. I think from what you're saying, you want to marry somebody who'll be your friend. Because he sounds like he's your friend.
My guy. Yeah. My guy.
But his fathers are setting standards high.
Very high.
Charlie, you better raise your boys right. Otherwise, there'll be a problem. Anyway, thank you so much, Aram, for joining us tonight. And thank you so much to all of you for sharing your stories. And to all of us who are missing our dads this week, we love you guys. Stay strong.
Yes.
And be comforted in the fact that their job is done and they've gone to a better place. So we'll be back next week, Wednesday. A very big thank you to Kofi Hayford for producing us. Really grateful. And to Mirabelle and Oliver and the rest of the team. Love you guys so much. And we'll be back next week. My name's Animwaa Anim-Addo and this is Strong and Sassy. If you missed any parts of it, it's on Facebook. So you can go and check it out there. Stay safe.
Bye.
You held me down, but I got